hopefully get some people in here and we can get this going right. I missed this live stream last week, so I'll make up for it tonight. Hopefully some people will come in. All right, how's everybody doing? Hey, Miss Fawn, how are you doing this evening? I hope everything's all right your way. And how's the weather up your? How you doing, Miss Fawn? How are you doing today? I just recently got done mowing the yard. Actually, I mowed my neighbor's yard for her and mowed half of my yard today. And tomorrow I got to finish up mowing the other half of my yard. Well, not necessarily mowing. I call it more bush hogging. Doing all right. I went to work and did my thing there and got home and mowed half of my yard and got my neighbor's yard done for her. Well, there was up to 3 of us, but apparently they ducked out pretty quick. How's the weather up your way, Miss Fawn? Been pretty nice down here today. It sprinkled for a little bit earlier today, but the main part of the storm went above us and below us, which is usual. That's the norm for around here. We always miss out on the rain. Even though we're needing some more, other places around us has been getting between 1 and 3 inches. And over here where I'm at, I think we've just in the last month may have gotten 3 inches, or not 3 inches, but maybe an inch if we're lucky. And it was in the upper 70s, lower 80s here, but with the cloud cover and the breeze going, it felt a lot cooler than that. And we got some rough storms coming in Sunday, not tornadic or anything, but they called for 40-mile-an-hour winds Sunday, so that ought to be fine. And tomorrow, a friend of mine's taking me out for a late birthday present. We're gonna go watch that Deadpool versus Wolverine movie, which comes out today. And there's a independent wrestling company that's also going to be putting on a wrestling event not far from where we're going to be watching the movie. So we're talking about going to watch that too. It just depends on the money situation by the time we get out of the movie theater, because it is not cheap to go watch movies anymore. And the only reason I went and watched that Twisters movie the other night was Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. I went and watched it Sunday. We've been having on again, off again showers this whole week. But the main threat of our weather's Sunday. Well, there was 3 of us, Miss Fawn. They done skipped out again. But yeah, I wouldn't go watch that new Twisters movie. Like I said, I put in that video yesterday, I believe it was, or the other day. It was a horrible movie. Uh, Now, as far as it being scientifically accurate, it was more accurate on the weather than the first Twister movie was. But what really killed the Twisters movie for me, they sparked up a love story, which I know the first one had it, and they did it pretty well with the love triangle. But and this one, it focused more on the love part of it than the actual weather part of it. Because you'll have a few minutes you'll have a scene or two of some wet tornado chasing going on, and then doing the thing, and then next thing you know, it's back to this guy and girl wanting to hook up. And then on top of that, I know the first one had a corporation that Bill Paxton's group was going up against that, they didn't like each other. But in this one, it was more of this evil corporation that also chases tornadoes, buying up land and then selling it for outrageous prices for tornado victims after they done put a house on it. And I'm sitting here thinking, you're adding way too much to a simple story. Well, you want to watch them chase tornadoes and build on the information that they got from the first film, but no, that took a back seat to them having to fight corporate greed and the love story going on, and that just took me out of the movie. And the only reason that me and my cousin didn't walk out was the simple fact that it was right at $40 for us to get in, plus getting the drinks and popcorn and hot dogs that we got. So by the time it was all said and done, we spent almost $100 just to watch a movie that wasn't even worth it. But yeah, Miss Fonda, movie theater, I don't know about up north. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. If you get to talk to Gabriel, tell Cindy my condolences. I know how it is to lose a loved one, and I send him all my best wishes. So if one of y'all get to talk to him before I see or hear from him again, to send him my best wishes, because that is kind of devastating. I lost my mother, so I know how it is to lose a parent. It's never easy. So I don't blame him for taking a break. That's going to be a lot to deal with. Plus be with his family and everything. So, my condolences to him and his family. But yeah, as far as movies go, the prices are outrageous. I don't know what it's like for other parts of the United States, but at least here in Alabama, at the movie theater we go to, just for a normal seat, if you don't go up into the balcony, just a normal seat is right at $10 a ticket. And then if you want some popcorn or something to drink, chips or even hot dogs, or even some of the candy, it's anywhere from $6 to almost $13, just depending on what you get. And it's outrageous and ridiculous. And then if you're needing gas to go from your house to there and back home, if you go out to eat either before or after, if you don't eat a hot dog while you're there, and before you know it, you're easily spending $200 or better just to go watch a movie, just for it to end up being a disappointing movie. Which I'm not trying to tell people not to go out and, not to go watch movies and everything. It's just ridiculous on how the prices are. Now, the movie theater that we go and watch, now there's one in Scottsboro and there's one in Fort Payne. Both of them are mom and pop run movie theaters, and I support local business owners. And I do realize they gotta make money themselves, but it's just expensive as crap just to do all that anymore. Especially if you're having to live from one paycheck to the next. Yeah, they kind of frown on that, but I know people that do it. And I have done it myself. I can't say that I haven't. I usually, if I'm going to sneak something in, I try to make it the brand of stuff they have there. So they did make it a little bit tougher on them to prove that I snuck it in. But I at least try to. I ain't done it in a while, but I think the last time I done that was a couple of years ago. I snuck in some of those. I can't remember the brand it is, but it's a little. The piece it's a gummy that's about that tall and about yay so thick, and they're about they're in the ball form, and it's my favorite thing to eat in a movie theater, and also to snack on. I mean, it's a little bit healthier than a regular snack, but not by much. But I like gummies anyway. But now, as far as sneaking drinks in, that's a whole nother challenge in its own. I don't know if they check purses. Now, the movie theaters I go to, I've never seen a woman bring a purse in, per se. So I don't know if they check them or not. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Now, in the wintertime, when it gets cold enough to wear a jacket, if you wear a normal size jacket, you'll have the guy that checks your ticket. You're going through there. Now he'll give you a once over to see if he can see any extra bulge to your jacket or whatever. But the only time they'll really give you a pat down, and that after they ask for permission, is if you're wearing a trench coat. Which, I don't blame them, but in a way, it's like, how money hungry can you be? I can understand if you're looking for weapons or drugs, but come on, it's just a drink or snack you taking in there. If you want people to buy your drinks and snacks, don't be charging 10 between 10 and $20 just to get a snack or, something to drink. Ridiculous. And they wonder why people try to sneak in their own drinks and snacks to a movie theater. Now, this one movie theater in Scottsboro started doing this a couple of years ago, and the one in Fort Payne recently started doing it. But I think it's either Tuesday or Thursday. I can't remember which. I've done forgot because I don't go to the theaters during the week. But a free refill on your popcorn if you bring your own bowl. But they got a size limit on the size of the bowl you can bring. But one of those now, I think, is either Tuesday or Thursday. You got to pay for the first bit of popcorn you get. But anytime you go back for a refill, it's free. And I think that's a pretty good little promotion to have because it's going to bring people in during the week and it's going to keep people interested and wanting to come back. I wish they would do that on the weekends. But like I say, it's rare that I actually go out and watch a movie unless I get lucky and have the spare money. Or somebody be like, hey, I'll pay us for a ticket to go watch a movie. We'll go watch. That's the only reason I went and watched Twisters is because my cousin was taking me to it for a late birthday surprise. And that's the only reason I'm going tomorrow because a friend of mine's taking me there for my birthday to watch Deadpool and Wolverine. Plus, me and him's pretty big comic book fans. So that's now I may do a video before I go there, or I'll wait till after I get home, let y'all know what I think about the movie. And if we go to watch that wrestling event, I'll try my best to get some video of it and sort of do like a quick review of the movie. But I don't know if they'll give me a strike for putting up some of their content on there. But I'm going to be smart and put my thoughts of it up in between it. So maybe I won't get another strike on my channel again. So we'll just have to see how that goes. Oh, I'm going to wait till after the man. I was talking about the wrestling event, Miss Fawn, because it's an independent wrestling company. Now, I ain't going to be dumb enough to try to do any of the movie. I know better than that. But some of the people that wrestle for this independent wrestling company, they're main. A lot of them are from Alabama, and there's even a couple of local people from around here that wrestle for them. And then there's some from Tennessee and some from Georgia. And they have a working contract with the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, and they'll exchange and share talent. But one of the girls that wrestles for them, Kylie Page, you can look her up. She's actually a second generation wrestler, and her and her dad own a wrestling company in Swerville, Tennessee. Yeah, I seen that, Miss Fawn. We got up to 3 of yous in here, and one kind of snuck out in the middle of me talking about the movie theater, and the other one kind of snuck out when I started talking about wrestling event. But I ain't worried about Miss Fawn. I got my loyal fans like you and Gabriel and Vanna, and I think and there's one more. But I'm thankful for the people who come through and stick around and all that. And one day it'll eventually start getting bigger and more people stick around. I'm going to start doing some exploring videos and everything, and sort of spice up the content a little bit more. Because I know me sitting here talking about Walmart or various stuff that goes on through the week does get boring and eventually just stalls out after a while. So I am thinking about here pretty soon doing some exploring videos of various places around here. I think y'all might like it. And like I was saying the other night in Noah's chat, the only reason I don't upload my ghost hunting videos is the chances of people stealing some of the content and the fact that the fakers just make it way too rough. Way too rough for it to, pass off as legit content anymore. Yeah, I seen that Miss Fawn. I wish you'd do another live stream. And I even seen some of those videos that Noah put out. But, the weather around, we finally got a break from all that upper 90s, lower 100-degree weather the last 2 weeks. So it's been pretty nice around here. I've actually spent more time outside the last 2 weeks than I ever have because it's just been too hot. Well, I know I don't fake my ghost hunting content, and I know Bayou doesn't fake his either because I went ghost hunting with him a few times. And from what I've seen of Noah's, he don't seem to fake his either. I haven't caught on to anything, but his are pretty fun to watch. I tried to get him in here to sneak in here with a live stream with us, but he may be a little bit busy. I know Friday nights are pretty busy for people, so I ain't going to complain about a whole lot not showing up. Because like I say, I understand the weekend's a little busy, and I try to get this to where, most everybody's done with everything they got going on. Yeah, I don't know what's keeping him from not doing a live stream, but unless he's just real busy or just have stuff going on that's keeping him from it. and and I'll even touch on some more about that. Them around here they got them slushies that has the weed oil in it, or THC or TB, whatever they want to call that. And it's not meant to be drunken all at once. It's one of those take you a few sips, put it up for a while, come back to it, and to sort of make it last you a day or two. Well, when I was hanging out with one of my friends this weekend, I wouldn't be surprised on that, Miss Fawn. Drama seems to find him pretty quick, which is kind of sad because Bayou's a pretty good old guy. But while I was hanging out with my friend this weekend, his wife went and got one of those. It was a lemon lime slushy that had the weed oil in it, and I never tried it before. I'm not much for. I ain't got nothing against people who want to smoke a little weed or make pot brownies or whatever. It's just really not something I'm into. But I took about 4 sips of it, and for the next 3 hours, I thought I was flying or floating in the air. I tried to get up and walk, and it felt like I was running. And for supper that night, my friend had made spaghetti. I don't remember eating 2 plates of spaghetti, which is the most I've eaten in a while. And apparently, I put a whole lot of cheese. A good kick. I said it was more cheese with spaghetti. All right, back to Dr. Pepper's now. And I tried them one time. I ate one just to see what would happen, and it didn't do nothing for me. I guess I didn't eat enough of it, or it was such a low dose of my body weight it didn't affect me none. And I even tried some of those mushroom gummies one time, and I ate one of them and it kind of mellowed me out for a little while. Now it has on there what happens if you eat so many of them, and I was like, I'll just stick to one, mellow out, just have a fun little time with it. And the only thing it does just make me relax a little bit, and that was about it. But I highly recommend them if you want to try. Just I wouldn't recommend wanting to do anything for a while after you drink you some of the slushy or eat some of the gummies. It will have you floating for a while. Because it took about almost 4 hours before I was able to even actually function right and go back out into the public. Because there was no way in the world I was going to try and do anything while that stuff had me messed up. I ain't never had none of the cookies with the green stuff in it. Didn't even know they was making it. But I'll have to keep an eye out on it around here to see if they have it or anything. I don't know if they do or not. I really don't go into none of those stores that sells a lot of that stuff. Mainly when I go to get me some cigarettes or whatever, I'll just go to the gas station, which I know I shouldn't be smoking and anything, but the stress of work and everything it's either that or drinking, and I'm not going back to drinking. Y'all get to look at the ceiling for a minute. But are they any good, Miss Fawn? Have you tried any of them? Yeah, I know. I just ain't never tried none of the stuff. I didn't even know they made any of it. I'll have to go into one of them stores to see if they're actually selling any of it, and I'll get back to you on all that. And then let's see here, what else was going on? Oh yeah, an officer in the next town over was in a pretty serious wreck the other day. He was sitting at the red light, and some guy just out of the pure blue just ran into the back of him. It didn't hurt either driver, and the cop was back to work 2 days afterwards, but it sure did mess his vehicle up pretty bad. So I'm gonna have to ask you, Mom, if there was any good there, Miss Fawn. But yeah, that's there ain't really a whole lot of exciting stuff that goes on around here. And let's see here, what else happened? Our Addicts for Christ meeting Wednesday night went pretty good. Even though there was a small crowd there, we still had a pretty good service for what people showed up. Huh, Miss Fawn, we keep having a couple come in and leave on out. Apparently we're not hip to the hop anymore. And then one of my neighbors yesterday went crazy and ended up ambulance. That must not have been too awful bad if she was eating them up, Miss Fawn. And the other day, my neighbor went kind of crazy. She had an arm in a sling, and apparently she didn't want her arm in a sling no more. Took the sling off, and with her bad arm threw the sling and apparently messed her arm up again, and had to get an ambulance to come pick her up and go whatever it is they had to do. And today she just ain't stayed inside. I guess she stayed inside, so I guess she must have embarrassed herself pretty much. Which if it's bad enough your arm's in a sling, don't be dumb enough to take it out and re-injure it again. I learned that the hard way and messed my knee up real bad. Now I didn't have to have my leg in a sling or a cast or anything. They gave me this high-end knee brace to put it in. It was a full-length knee brace. And it was one of those that it barely bends at the knee, just enough to, if you got to sit down or if you're walking, you can. And I wish I still had the thing and everything. I let my cousin borrow it, and I hadn't seen it since then. But it was one of those full-length ones I got for free through my insurance, and that thing was wonderful. Because after I got to the point where I didn't need crutches or a walking stick to walk around, I walked around a whole lot with it on, and I didn't feel no pain whatsoever. And it didn't slide or anything like that. It was just a pain to take off and to put on every day. But all in all, it was well worth it because after I was able to go back to work, I was able to actually walk a little bit quicker. And of course, I didn't kneel down on that knee because I wasn't about to mess it up again. So I started, using my other knee. But I always been one of those, I always knelt down on my left knee, so I had to readjust to kneeling down on my right knee. But it's all hit up and ready to go, and which I take it a little bit easier on it because it sucked having to use crutches or a wheelchair to get around. And I never realized how much I missed walking until I messed my leg up so bad I couldn't walk. Because it took, this happened in December of 2021. It was right around December 28th or 29th, something like that. And it was July of 2022 before I could start walking just using one single crutch. So we're talking a little over 7 months before I could start putting pressure on my left leg. Even though I still had to use that crutch, it was nice to get back to walking again. And it was September when they started letting me use a walking stick to get around. which I almost did a cartwheel when I could start doing that. And it was somewhere right around January of 2023 before they took the cane away, and I was able to actually put my full body weight on both legs. And believe you me, all of 2023, I didn't miss a chance to walk. Because, like I said, I missed it when I was laid up for a while. And even though my left knee still got a lot of scar damage to it, and every now and again, it's got arthritis in it now, and when it goes to rain or gets cold, it still hurts like crap. But hey, don't think I ain't out there walking like crazy. And it took a while to get my stamina built back from not being able to move around like I used to. And you talk about depression. I never really dealt with depression a whole lot until I couldn't do nothing for myself for a while. And thankfully, I made it through all that. And, it came flooding back in earlier this year, and I almost took my own life. But thank the good Lord that it didn't it didn't happen. Or actually, I didn't die anyway. I ended up having to go to the hospital and getting my stomach pumped out. Because I swallowed a whole bunch of sleeping pills and wanted to take my own life. And my neighbor heard my dog barking, and everybody around here knows my dog's he ain't really loud. He don't bark a whole lot. I know that's strange for a dog, but when my front door was open, they seen my dog running back and forth barking, and they thought somebody broke in. So they came over here to see what the problem was, and that's when they found me in the living room floor. And then I woke up a couple of days later in the hospital. They had to pump my stomach and everything. So I'm thankful for all that, and I'm still glad to be around here. And that's when I started a little program up around here myself. The church is nice enough to let me do it. I have these meetings where people that has tried to commit suicide or had thoughts are going through a real depressing time in their life. We have a meeting once a week on Tuesdays. Have a pretty good little crowd that shows up. And we'll share our story and talk about everything to sort of help each one of us through it. And thank you, Ms. Fawn. I'm still glad to be around too. And we probably have about 30, 40 people that show up. It started out with maybe 5 or 6 showing up, and we built up to about 30 or 40 now. So, I'm trying to get, if even I just help one person, I'm pretty happy about it. Well, we had up to 5 of us here for a while. I guess they decided to move on, or the conversation got too real for them. But, I wish they had more programs like that around. I think it would be something good to get started. Because, it's hard for people to want to admit they need help. Or, I think it'd make them feel better hearing other people's stories. It's all good, Miss Fawn. We still have us a fun time. Well, there's 3 of us now. But I'm trying to get more people in churches involved in opening up programs like that. Even if the people don't want to come to the regular church service and they just want to come to these meetings to open up and be amongst people that may be going through the same thing they're going through, it'd be well worth it in the end, because you never know, it might save a life. Because nowadays, every time you turn around, you're reading on Facebook and seeing on the news where somebody took their life, and not everybody was surprised by it. And I'm sitting there thinking, what if they had somewhere to go with similar people that's going through the similar thing, and was able to at least have a safe place to go to talk about what they got going on. And that's why I started this program after I got out of the hospital. And it's grown from 5 people showing up to 30 or 40 of us now. So that comes to show you there's people out there who's suffering through depression, having these thoughts that are desperately looking for a place to, where their voice can be heard. And I know they have I think it's a National Suicide Day or month or something like that, where they'll acknowledge it and have these ribbons and bows and whatever color goes with it. And I'm sitting there thinking you need to do more than that. Get some programs started. Do something like the Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous and all that's got going on. Because I guarantee you, people will show up. Because you wouldn't believe how many people out there that go through the same thing that are just afraid to say something. And if anybody else, comes through this live stream, that whether they watch the replay later on or is here with us now, don't be afraid to say something to somebody. Go get you some help. Find you somebody to talk to. It'll be well worth it because I guarantee you wouldn't believe how many similar people are going through the same thing you are. Or if you want to talk to us here in this live stream, I guarantee you, me, Miss Fawn, Vanna, Gabriel, somebody will talk to you. We may not have the answers, but somebody will talk to you and listen. I'll even talk to you and listen. Because like I say, I have been there and I have done that. And I don't want to see anybody go through the same thing I went through. Because it definitely devastates families and friends and everything. Because nobody wants to see a loved one take their own life, much less pass away. Well, anyway, that's my rant on all that. But yeah, needless to say, I'm hoping this program starts branching out to other churches, or if people are not comfortable going to a church, maybe have like a little community center opened up to where people can meet. And, on Tuesday nights we have this program. We actually have something there to eat, so you ain't got to worry about cooking. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Miss Fawn. And like I say, if you ever need somebody to talk to, don't be scared to get in contact with me. I know how it is losing a loved one and get to thinking about them. And it does get you down and out and wishing you could see them again and everything. You got my condolences on that because it is definitely horrible when you're missing a loved one, but you can't see them until you pass on to the other side. But that's like my grandma. She passed away it was 1 month before I graduated high school. And that was 21 years ago, and I still think about her and still miss her to this day. And there's a few other loved ones that's went on that I would love to be able to talk to and see. That's like my we've had the same here, Miss Fawn. But, maybe it'll be a while longer before you lose somebody, or fingers crossed and all that. But I had a cousin who, same age as me, graduated high school the same year I did, and she died 2 months to the date after she had her baby from a staph infection, and that was 20 years ago, and there's not a day that goes by that I'm not thinking about her at some point or another. But I feel you pain on that, Miss Fawn, because it's not easy losing a loved one, especially when a bunch of them go at the same time. But we take it one day and one step at a time, and slowly but surely we'll get all the way through it. That's good, Miss Fauna. I know it can get depressing about thinking about the ones that has died and went on, and it's never easy. But like I say, you got to take it one day and one step at a time, and live life the best we can till one day we meet up with them again. And hey, to the other person that joined in with us, if you want to join in on the conversation, you're more than welcome to. And then next week, sometime thinking about going to do some fishing. Haven't got to do that in a while. And one of the guys I go to church with, he after his surgery is just now getting to the point where he can go back fishing again. And I told him when he got ready and he felt comfortable jumping in a boat again, I'd go fishing with him. And Wednesday night, he asked if one day next week after I got off of work, if I was up for some evening fishing. I was like, all you got to do is come and get me. We'll go. I was like, I get off of work at 2 in the evening. I'm usually home by 2:30. I was like, come through about 2:45. At least give me a chance to change clothes and get a few things taken care of, and we'll go fishing. So I don't know what day he's going to come by to do that, but when he comes by to pick me up, I'll when we get on the boat and get going to where we're going to go fish at, I'll make a video about it, show y'all the lake and some of the places around it where we like to go fishing at, because it is some of the most beautiful places in the world you'll see. And I know everybody says that about where they live at, but I guarantee you'll never see places as beautiful as you'll see on the Tennessee River. Because there's one spot that I told him we definitely got to go and try is Jones's Cove. Because they got some monster bass over there along with some crappie and catfish that I want to see if they're still over there. And it's right next to the Boy Scout camp. Now, I'll try not to get a whole lot of the camp in the video because I don't know how they would feel about it. And also, it kind of does look a little creepy, somebody making a video that close to a Boy Scout camp. So I'll try to limit how much of the camp shows up into the video, which at this time of the year, I think they're about to shut down for a while. Yeah, I got my fishing license, Miss Fawn. I got the lifetime fishing license, which was $250. I got it 8 years ago. Because what it was, I'd went back in 2016. I'd went a couple of years without having a fishing license, and I knew I was eventually going to get caught. Because I know how the game wardens work. I knew I was going to get caught, and I knew I was taking a big risk, and I was full and ready to accept the consequences with fishing without a fishing license, which y'all know I think it's stupid to make people have a fishing license because there's nothing you can do to a lake that's going to cost money other than having to pay the game wardens to be out there, and that's it. I can understand them wanting to have a hunting license because they do have to take care of the management areas. Like during the spring and summer when they shut down, they got the upkeep, planting the fields with corn and soybean and wheatgrass to draw the animals in. Mowing, cutting down trees if they need to. I understand the hunting license, but I think the fishing license is stupid because the lake takes care of itself, and it'll be taking care of itself long after we pass away. Like me and my dad this was early spring, and usually early spring around here anyways, is when the catfish are the most active. They're getting ready to go on bed, or if you don't know what that is, it's It's about the time they lay eggs and everything, and they go on a feeding frenzy to, to at least bulk themselves up before they go on bed. So me and my dad, we go to the county park, and and we was there for a good hour and a half. I done caught 6 catfish. He had like 6 or 7. And right about the time I pull in this mother catfish, which you can tell the mother from the or male female fish from each other. She was full of eggs, so I let her go back. And right about the time I pulled her in and threw her back, the game warden was tying up to the dock. He was like, "All right, fellas, I need to see your fishing license." My dad pulls his out, shows to him. And I was like, "I'm not going to lie to you. You're going to find out anyway. I don't have a fishing license. I ain't had one in a couple of years." I was honest about it. And he gave me a ticket. It was for $50. And he said I could continue fishing all I wanted for the rest of the day. And if I get caught again, I wouldn't get a ticket because I already got a ticket from it. All I had to do was, if I got caught again that day, just show, "Hey, I got a ticket for it," and nothing else would be said. This was on a Saturday. And so me and my dad, we fished a little bit longer, caught some more cat. We threw the females back because, like I said, they was getting ready to go on bed to have eggs. And we kept some of the males, not a whole lot of them. And by the time we got done, we probably had about 20 catfish altogether. That Monday evening, I got off of work, stopped by the courthouse, went to go pay my ticket, and they was going to charge me $100. They charged me another $50 for pleading guilty. I was like, "Well, it's not like I was going to deny I didn't have a license." She was like, "Well, you can fight it if you want to." I was like, "Why would I want to pay court costs for something that I'm clearly guilty for?" She was like, "Well, you can go get a lifetime license or pay this $100 ticket." So I went to the elevator, went back downstairs, paid $250 for a lifetime license, went back upstairs, showed her. They said, "All right, you're took care of." And I went on about my day, and I ain't had to worry about a fishing ticket since then, or even having to get a license. Yeah, I can understand the campgrounds doing that, Miss Fawn, because I guess they want to keep it stocked for when the kids come through and everything. So I understand that. But it made for some good eating, though, Miss Fawn. But like I said, I'll make a video. We go to Jones's Cove, and I'll try to limit that how much of the camp, Boy Scout camp, shows up, because I understand that is a little creepy and weird. It has, pervert sign flashing over you. Try, even though at this time of year all the kids are getting ready to go back to school and a lot of your camps are winding down for the year, even though the Boy Scout camp, once the summer vacation's over with, and the Girl Scout camp's the same way, they'll still do stuff on the weekends and whenever kids go on vacation from school. But they do have a beautiful place over there for the Boy Scout camps. Yeah, Miss Fawn, the few that I've been through are pretty strict about stuff. And I can understand some of the rules, some of them I can't. But we have a camp here close to us, or 15 minutes away anyway. Now, there's some people that give permission to hunt on there, but you got to go through this rigorous background check and everything else, all these rules to follow. You can't hunt when there's kids there. I understand that part. Can't leave no trash behind. You're only allowed to kill one male and the rest can be female. And then if you turkey hunt on there, you're only allowed to kill the females. You can't kill the male turkeys. But like I said, I think they only allow 3-4 people a year to go hunting on there. And what it is, what you got to do, you got to buy these tickets, and they have a drawing right before hunt season starts. And the lucky winners get to go hunting on there and all that. So it is a pretty tough to get in there. I've only been there once, and all the years I've been hunting, I've been going hunting since I was 10 years old. So in the last 30 years of my life going hunting, I've been on there 2 times in 30 years. And it's pretty nice, and it's loaded up with turkey and deer and all that, which I can understand. You don't want them killed out. You want something for the kids to enjoy, so I get that. But this camp here is mainly meant for kids, so I can understand how they want to limit what's killed and who can all go on. And we have a nice place on the other side of Langston that for I think it's $1,000 a month to rent a spot there if you're going to stay there a whole lot. But it's like $12,000 a year, or $1,200 a year, not $12,000, if you want to keep your camper there full time. Or if you're just, because you can't take a tent in there and everything. They mainly want it to be campers. But that's not a bad little deal for all that. Now it's $12,000 a year with the $1,000. Yeah, my math wasn't adding up there for a minute. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that, Miss Fawn. I got an RC Cola over here I'm trying. Because when I ain't got Dr. Pepper, I got to have my RC Cola. But anyway, my medicine's starting to kick in, so I'm glad I got to do this live stream to make up for the one that I missed last week. But I will see y'all tomorrow in the next video. And I hope I hope y'all have a good rest of the night. And whoever watches this on a replay, I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all's night. And Miss Fawn, you have a good rest of your evening.